Hello Go community, today we'll be unboxing the Noctua NH-L9A. I'm bad with names. So the NH-L9A is the AMD version, and there's the NH-L9I, which is the Intel version of this low profile cooler. I'm not sure why Noctua decided to have two versions instead of just shipping all of the accessories you need in one box. Maybe there's some limitation in the design, or they kept in mind certain things about the layout of the boards. I'll check why and post a message in the description. So anyways, back to our unboxing. This cooler is only 37 millimeters high, so 3.7 centimeters high. That's pretty low, including the fan, of course. And as you can see, the box is pretty small compared to the NH-D14. That thing was like this big, the box, you know. What is this used for? It's basically used for HTPC applications where you have a small device, small PC, kind of console size, and you want to cool the CPU inside, or maybe the APU inside in case you're using the AMD A10 or A8 or A6 or any of those. So if you want to cool the stuff inside but you don't have a lot of kind of leeway. Also for mini ITX boards where the RAM and the PCI and everything is really close together, so if you have a really wide, even if it's low, or if it's a very wide cooler like the big Shuriken, it might get in the way. I'm not sure if the big Shuriken does get in the way, but it's a pretty wide cooler, so it might interfere with your RAM, or it might interfere with your PCI Express. So let's go ahead and open the box. Let me show you actually every side. Over here we have the description, very short description. Over here we have the more technical description of the product. Next to it, some more descriptions of the product, and the back is just the overview of the product. Again, some features on the side, pretty much the same over here. Now let's open the box and we'll get back to the features and I'll talk to them. So now the first thing you see with the box is just, it's like an award. It's like, you just won this, because it looks amazing. It looks amazing. I mean, they go through so much effort, even though they know we're just gonna plug this in the PC, throw the box, but they still bothered and made the box and everything look really presentable. They really do take care of their products. Noctua, they make sure it's the best of the best, and you'll soon see why. So over here you have the logo for Noctua. Okay, this sticks on your case, I guess, and or wherever you want, on your car if you're a fanatic. Has a sticker on the back. You just peel it off and stick it. It's actually not a sticker per se. It's actually a thin piece of metal. It's like an engraved metal, so they actually bothered with this one, unlike the stickers, which just, you know, doesn't look as cool as this. Show you a few close-ups of this. Also we have the 4 screws for the mounting, and we have the low noise adapter. Now this reduces the RPM of the fan, makes it more quiet, even more quiet I should say, because the fan is already quiet, and I'll give you the numbers soon. Over here we have the thermal compound, or the thermal grease, or thermal paste, or whatever you like to call it. Basically you apply it before putting the cooler on the APU or CPU. I actually bought one of these. I think they're bigger sized. On Amazon you can find them. It's a NH-L9A. It's a really good cooler, a really good thermal compound. It's not some crappy one, and they actually bothered to give you this rather than put, you know, some pre-cut thermal paste on there. I hate those. I just scrape them off and put. I actually use this, and I have a full retail unit which I use to apply on pretty much all my devices. It's really good and considerate for them to put this, although the price is $50 on this thing. Okay, let's go ahead and remove this. I mentioned the 4 screws. That's pretty much it. 4 screws to mount the cooler. Before I get to the cooler itself, let's look at the other stuff over here. We have the backplate. Okay, there's a backplate. It's pretty solid. It's not gonna break. Okay. Also, we have. Now this I have no idea what is it for. The screws. I'll put it in the description if I find out. I have no idea what these screws are, because these other screws are what's used to mount on the back plate. I cannot for the life of me know what's going on with those other screws. Maybe there's some replacements in case the heads go dull on the screws you have. Over here we have a note which is signed by the Noctua CEO. So it shows that they care. They have a message congratulating you. I said, exactly like I said, it's an award. Congratulations on choosing the Noctua NH-L9. Okay, so over here you have my favorite manuals are Noctua. Yes, I have a favorite manual. So because they're really simple, it doesn't, some of them kind of try to show you 5 steps in one picture. It's like, and you kind of like go like, what do you want me to do? This is just simple. It's just, okay, 1 step, everything is clear, screws are introduced, it's red. And as you can see, it's just the back plate. Fits on the back of the motherboard, of course. The 4 screws I showed you, you just tie them in, that's it. Screw them in, you're done. That's it. That's pretty much it. And then it describes also the fan and how you can use a low noise adapter. Also, it gives you the warranty. Now the warranty, this is just amusing for me. And this is what actually made me fall in love with Noctua. It's not 1 year, it's not 2 years, it's not 3 years. It's 6 years warranty on the product. I mean, you have to be really confident with your product to say 6 years, no problem, even the fan. 6 years, I don't care, you know? So really, really, you know, they'll get you covered on these things. Okay, the cooler itself, enough talking. The cooler itself, it's actually equipped with, no, it's not 120 millimeters. This is actually 92 millimeters. It's actually specific size made for the application, the HTPC low profile application. Of course, it's not just any fan, it's a Noctua fan. So you have these specialized kind of engravings on the fan, a specific layout of the fan to push as much air as possible with as least noise as possible. And they really care about the noise levels. And I can vouch for them. I have a lot of Noctua fans that are really quiet, especially if you put this thing, you don't hear it pretty much. Now you also have these rubber grommets on the side. Now these things reduce vibration, so reduces noise even more. It's small touches like these that make the product better, you know. You have 2 U-shaped, what do you call them, heat pipes. I'm not sure if you can see them, I'll get you a close-up. And this is the place where the 4 screws mount. And this is pretty much the bracket is mounted on. You don't have to mount anything on the cooler itself, because like we said, it's just for AMD. And it's for AMD FM2, FM2+, FM3, FM3+, FM1, FM2. Did I get that? No, I'm sorry. I get that wrong. AM2 and AM2+, AM3 and AM3+, and FM1 and FM2. Sorry for that. So it's basically pretty much anything out there. They all use the same bracket, so pretty much they're just telling you it's supported for all of the brackets. Now as you can see, a very reflective surface, and let's see. Yeah, see? It's a very reflective surface over here. Reflectiveness doesn't necessarily mean the best flatness on the surface, but generally it does indicate that. So it's a really, really clean, flat surface over here. And I think it's going to cool everything really well. Now it's graded for 65 watt TDP. So the maximum your CPU or APU should bear is 65. Like you can go on the AMD website and find out what your CPU does, or APU. My APU in specific is the 810, I hate names, 810-5600. Now that's a 65 watt TDP, unlike the 5800, which is a 100 watt. Now the Intel version, for some reason, it tells you can go up to 95 watts, even though 65 is a guaranteed. Up to 95, but you gotta have lots of ventilation in your case, and on top of that, you gotta make sure turbo mode is off in Ivy Bridge. For Sandy Bridge, I believe up to 77 watts, and You know, it has some differentiation, but for the AMD version, it's only 65, and it has a big X on 100 watts and a big X on like 125. It says no way. So 65 is the maximum. I'm covered in my case. It's pretty good. 65 watts on this thing. Basically, let's go very quickly over the low noise adapter and how much you can get difference. Without the adapter, it's 2500 RPM, and then it drops down to 1800 RPM with this thing. Now, what's that in airflow? It's from 57.5 to 40.8, so there is a drop in the airflow, significant drop, but the noise is dropped from 23.6 decibels to 14.8. 14.8 is barely audible to the human ear. It's pretty much, let's see, 10 decibels is breathing. 10 decibels is breathing noise. So it's barely under breathing noise, barely above breathing noise with a low noise adapter plugged in. This thing weighs around, weighs 390 grams, pretty darn light. So if you have a system that you want to move around, have a light system, perfect. I'm gonna put this in my build, show you guys how it performs hopefully. And this is not the last time you see this baby. I just absolutely love this thing. So thank you for watching this unboxing.